Hi, and welcome to my adult coloring channel, J.I. Colorist. My name is Jody, and today we're going to continue with a color along tutorial in the Rita Berman book, Land Under the Microscope. And we're going to continue with the bee page, and we're going to be doing some more of the elements on the page. So the first tutorial we did the bees with the transparent wings, and now we're going to move on and we're going to do some honeycombs and some flowers and some butterflies. So I'm not sure how much we'll do in this video, but for sure we will be doing the honeycombs and probably at least one flower. So to start off with, the first honeycomb bee picture that I did that started this was from Hannah Carlson's Grains of Gold, and it was in my May completed pages book. So this is the page that I completed there, and from this page people wanted to know how I did some of the elements on the page. So that's where we're kind of going to. So this page doesn't have gems on it, of course, but it does have other items. So I'm just gonna zoom you in a little bit. I have done a couple I've finished the bees, so you'll see, and I've started on some of the honeycombs. So I'll zoom you in a little bit, and we'll do a few of these honeycombs together, and then I'll stop the video and continue on with the rest of them, and then I'll come back and we'll do some of the flowers. So we're going to be using Polychromos, and I've substituted one pencil color and added another. So I'll have the pencils up on screen as well in case you if I'm not speaking clear enough for you. But we're going to be using Naples Yellow 185, Light Yellow Ochre 183, Raw Umber 180, and Burnt Sienna 283. So these four colors is what makes up each of the little individual honeycomb things. So for the honeycomb, I want them to have a little bit of depth. So that's why you'll see that I've got it darker on the bottom, and then it gradiates upwards to lighter. So trying to give it the look that you can actually go down, because a honeycomb is a little pocket. I'm sure you've all seen them in real life. So that's what I'm kind of going for. So I'm just giving it a little bit of depth. And we'll start with this one right here in the center. So you can start from the top or the bottom, it doesn't matter, but I find starting from the bottom, working up is works best for me. So I'm just gonna start and do, so with my darkest color, so Burnt Sienna, I'm just gonna draw a very small line. And then my next number, 180, Raw Umber. I'm gonna go up about halfway. So if this is the center, I'm gonna go up about halfway on the side and then kind of down. It doesn't have to be exact, and each honeycomb piece can be slightly different. And keeping it light. Next is my Light Yellow Ochre 183, and this is going to go all the way up to just past halfway. And I'm in a circular motion, and I'm not going straight across. I'm kind of keeping it like a little bit of a moon shape, and then I'm coming down into my second color, and then the lightest shade, which is Naples Yellow 185, and this is going to go all the way to the top. And I'm going to bring that down right through to my next color, bringing it down. And my brown umber. And then the lightest color all over to kind of tie everything together. If I'm having a problem with a harsh line that's just not blending out, I will pull out my Gamsol and blend that, but this paper's been pretty good, so I haven't had to do that very often. And then if we want, just come down. Basically all this is a shadow, just to give an illusion of some depth. And if you don't like that, you don't have to do that part. There we go. So that's what it's gonna look like, and that basically we just keep repeating. So we'll do another couple. Now here we are, we're going to do one area around the wing so you can see. So part of the honeycomb is underneath the wing, so we're going to pretend that it's still there. So we're only going to do a little bit of the so I skipped the very dark altogether. And we'll do the light. Now the butterfly is also putting a bit of a shadow on there, so I'm actually going to take my second color, the light yellow ochre, and just kind of go a little bit under there just to darken that up, and then darken this up. And that's how you do that. So even when you don't have a full honeycomb area, imagine in your mind that it's there, it's just underneath, so that you can still keep that. So let's do another one, and we'll go top down, just so you can see that it's the same. So when it's top down, I go just past the halfway. So I hope everybody is doing great. And I hope you're having a creative week. I find being creative is a great, I feel productive when I've been creative. And we just working our way back up. So whether you start from the top or the bottom, it's totally up to you. And this paper is doing pretty well. There you go. So this one, it's just just like to finish it off with that dark line on the bottom, but it doesn't have to. Oops. There we go. Okay. So now that you've seen me do 3, I'll carry on. There's a bunch more to be done on this book. So let me go pick some colors for the flowers and I'll be right back. Okay, we're back and I've picked some colors and I did one of the flowers here. So we're going to color it this color. It's looking a little bit more purple on screen, but it is quite pink. And we're just going to do one of these ones right here. So I'm chosen, the lightest color is light magenta that we used earlier in the wings. It's 119. Mid color is crimson, 134. The dark color is magenta, 133. And I'm also using Derwent Chinese white, 7200. And then the center, we're going to use Naples yellow, 185, and a little bit of shadowing with raw umber, 180. Okay. So let's make sure we've got you in frame. And we'll work on this one right here. So I'm actually gonna go and put in some white right away so that it doesn't get too dark to start with. I have no idea what kind of flower this is, so I'm making it up. Okay, so I'm going to use my darkest color, and that's going to be under the leaf. So I'm going to be using 133 magenta, and that's going to be on the tips where the leaf has curled over, or the petal I should say. They're not leaves. Make sure I'm not blocking your view. I didn't want these flowers to be yellow because we've got an awful lot of yellow on this page already. So I tried to pick a bright contrasting color. And there are a couple of different types of flowers on this page. So up at the top here, there's this flower that looks quite different petal wise from these ones down here. So I will have an opportunity to bring in a second flower color. Okay, so that's the darkest. I'm also going to do this rune around here. Okay, now I'm going to take the mid-tone, and it's 134 crimson, and it's going to be the top half, basically where all the little dot area are. And then I'm going to have the pink come from the bottom up all the way to the top. And because I've already laid that Chinese white down, it's provided a bit of a white base so that I don't go over with the pink, so it's not too dark. And smooth out the purple. Okay, and then okay, and on to the next petal. Well, I'll finish this off so that you know what it's going to look like. Is I'm taking the pink Sparkle Pop, Pentel Sparkle Pop, and normally I would use a gold or something, but we have enough yellow and gold on this page already, so I'm just blinging it up with a bit of pink Sparkle Pop. So now do this guy, being careful not to. So this petal goes from here to here. So just my 17-year-old dog is sleeping under the desk here, and I can hear her starting to snore. So you're getting all the sounds today. You're getting my noisy oxygen cannula, my dog snoring. I do have the window closed so you won't hear any sounds from outside. I live on an acreage though, so the sounds outside are mostly just birds, which is nice. Okay, this time I'll start with the pink since I've already got it in my hand and just come up. Annie. We have two dogs, and I'm filming today on June the 9th, so our youngest dog, it's her birthday today, so she's 9, and that's Daisy. And Annie is so Daisy is a Shih Tzu, and Annie is a Bichon Shih Tzu. So both little dogs, and they are definitely family. Blend that down a bit. Okay. Your flower doesn't have to look real, it just has to look pretty. That's my theory in this book anyways. I'm really working at trying to think outside the color box. So actually sometimes I've been using the color catalog from Sarah Renee Clark to try and push myself out of, I'm an accountant, so I think very much as a, everything is realistic. So when I color a house, I'm coloring it, regular house colors. Animals are always regular animal colors, so I'm trying hard to think outside the box, the color wheel box. Okay. A bit darker up here. Just nice, relaxing. So after this petal, we'll be done, and then I will pause the video and pick some colors for the other flower type, and then I'll be back to share that with you. Not sure if I'll use the blender. I think it's probably if you work in light layers, you don't I tend not to need to blend as much, like using a Gamsol or the Caran d'Ache blender stick. Okay, let's add my little sparkle pop pen. There we go. For the center, we're going to use Naples yellow. And then where the artist has already got a bunch of speckles there, it's indicating a shadow. So I'm going to take the raw umber and I'm just going to color half of it. So it kind of looks like a shadow. There. And that's the flower. So we've done this flower and this flower. I'll leave you for a few minutes while I pick some colors and we'll come back to do this flower. Okay, we're back, and because there's only 3 of them here, we'll just wing it and do it on screen with you. So I've selected dark chromium yellow 109 for my light color. My mid-tone is orange glaze 113, and then I've picked scarlet red 118. Let me just do some. So these are the 3 colors. Okay. So this time I'm going to make the outside of the leaf the lighter color. And then let's actually let's switch it up for a minute and see something. I switched it up and picked light cadmium yellow 105. So let's just see how this looks. Okay. Okay. I need to sharpen this. Okay. So now I've got the, sorry about that. See if I can get you a little bit. This is, okay. The scarlet red has quite a orange undertone. It's not really, I wouldn't consider it red, really. Okay, not sure I like the outer leaves. That's a little better. Sometimes you just need to refine as you go. Okay. I think that looks okay. So, how we did that was the dark chrome, the 109 chromium yellow is the outside. And the orange glaze 113 on the center, and lightening up, so darker on the bottom and on the sides, and then lightening up as you go. And then we're going to go and bring in the light cad yellow and bring it down. And then on the outside. A little bit on the outside. Okay. And then for these areas in here, I'm going to do it the same as this. So I'm either going to use, let's see what the orange sparkle pop will look like. Yeah, so this is the orange sparkle pop. And I'll do that. Just so all the flowers have a bit of bling on them. Okay. So let's quickly, oops, finish this. Okay, now hopefully my hand has not been in your way. So for all of you people out there that do diamond painting, I've never tried one. I've been seriously thinking about getting one to try. I just don't know what you do with them when you're done. So I mean, for my coloring books, I keep them in the books for my pages, or I have a disc bound book where I put loose pages in. I guess once in a while I'll frame one, but for the most part they just stay in their book, so that's easy to keep. But I just, once you have all these diamond paintings done, I mean, I just don't have that kind of wall space, nor do I want to spend a whole bunch on frames. Like, I don't know, how costly it is to frame them, so it's kind of held me back, because I'm not sure what a person does with them once they're done. Like, can you leave them unframed? Do you just tack them on the wall? Then do the diamonds start popping off? Like, so for anybody that has already done one, let me know what you think. And if there's any certain YouTubers out there that you follow that you think are good for a beginner to follow and learn, let me know that too, because yeah, I know that there's lots out there, and a couple of the coloring people do diamond painting as well, and I've seen some on their channels, and it looks cool, and I think it would be fun. I just don't know what to do with it after it's finished. And I guess that's the accountant side of me, the practical side, how do you store it? What do you do with it later? Okay. So yes, that's my question for you for today's video, is if you diamond paint, and would you recommend someone trying it? I mean, like any hobby, there's, I'm sure, an initial outlay of supplies that are required. Okay, so those, I'm going to zoom you back out. Okay, and turn the book the correct way. So here's how our page is looking so far. We've got all of the bees done. We've got maybe 20% of the little honeycombs done, so I've got a lot left to do, but they're all repetitive, so there's no sense in you watching me do another 50 of those. And then we've got some of the flowers done. So I will leave the video here, and I'll come back and do part 3, where we will do the 2 butterflies, and we'll decide on what to do with the background around the honeycombs, because in the other book it was quite all the honeycombs were there throughout the whole page. There were no breaks, there was no, so it was quite easy to do a gold outline because there was, it was the whole honeycomb. Whereas here, the honeycomb is broken up in quite a few areas, and there's other things around. So if I just did gold everywhere, you'd have great big splotches of gold, and I don't think that's kind of what I'm going for. Like, there's a break here, there's a break here. So yeah, so I'm still thinking on that, and we'll tackle that in part 3. But thank you for joining me, and I hope you have a wonderful creative week, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.